So get into a little bit of poetry, get into a couple of poems, talk that talk. Be sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. I know the whole world right now faced with talking about how they tired of the negative, tired of the bullshit, tired of how they tired of all the negative rapping. This ain't that over here. So we gonna see if we can get some positivity moving on and seeing if y'all really want that shit. Y'all really want the positive? Y'all really want the non-violent, the non-spinning the block? I mean, we could talk that shit if we was to get on that tip, but I mean, this ain't that. I mean, everybody got a past and everybody ain't perfect. But when you a grown man and a grown person out here, you gotta feed your body with good energy and put positive things into it. I mean, because it's gonna show on the outside also. It's gonna show what you've been listening to. It's gonna show what you've been watching. You know what I'm saying? You 50 years old and still trying to run around acting like you 20. You know, something is wrong. Something is backwards. Either as a man or a woman. You know, if you still doing the same things or acting the same way, or you influencing, trying to be these rappers and entertainers, and you 50, 40 years old and still run around making twerking videos and run around twerking and you 40 trying to act young. I mean, where's your energy at? What is you on? Or you 50 years old still riding around with sounds in your car. Run around trying to act like you a teenager or young in your 20s. Man, grow up. I titled this video Enjoy the Journey, because we're going to get back to basics. And basics is that amongst your journey, even though all them things I just said, it's all right to make mistakes, but when you grown, like I say, you're not in your 40s and 50s and them late 30s, and you still just going in that maze of doing the same, something wrong. I mean, it's off balance somewhere. I mean, you too easily influenced. That's not a good energy. That's not a good trait to have, just to be easily influenced. Sometimes I think about our past and how raw and how hard the music was. I remember a couple years ago, I used to be thankful that we didn't have some of the same artists and the things that we grew up on. Do you know how much balance it took for us as kids? I mean, even though it did play on us a little bit in some of our years, I mean, we have to admit, especially in hindsight. And like I said in another interview, I said in an interview or in another video, I was talking. Them old people, them old women and stuff, they went too far off. C. Deluz Tucker and Dionne Warwick and them, they saw the vision, they went too off. And I hate to say it, because in hindsight, being a hip-hop baby and a hip-hop student, we was against everything they were saying because they were just older people talking to us. But now in hindsight, I just look at it like they really were trying to save us. It's just we was living through the culture. But when you become a parent, when you have kids and you see how some of them be influenced by all these different things, the death, the drugs, the sexuality, or all the however you want to put it, it's the whole energy. I mean, we can't be scared because it's all been happening year after year, decade after decade. I mean, it always been there. The sex, it's still gonna be there forever. The violence still gonna be there. I feel you have to just teach the people around you, especially your offspring, your kids, just to be aware, just to look around Be observant. Be a leader. Don't be a follower. To pay attention to their surroundings and to be a good judge of character. That's one thing I really try to stress to tell my kids. Watch who you around. Listen to them. If they on some shit that you ain't on and you feel the energy is off, get away. Or look at them from a distance and learn from them. You can learn from a dummy. We used to always have this saying in the hood, which is still stand true. You can learn a lot from a crackhead. You can learn a lot from a drunk, an alcoholic. You can learn a lot from them because sometimes you can look at people and see what you don't want to be. Let's dig into it. You can look at people like that and just see, like, I don't want to be that. But if you ain't exposed to it, you don't see this stuff. And then when you come out in the world, you just blind. And if you ain't seen nothing, you're going to be so confused when you just hit the real world and you see that. Not saying that everything has to be negative, but if you don't see nothing, you come out and see this real world and you see the people for who they really are, it's going to be totally confused and you're going to be left back. You're going to be behind. You're going to get misused. You're going to want to fit in with people because you never knew what you liked. You never came out and engaged and been social and learned life and learned people. And I feel for a lot of these youngsters because social media can only do so much. School can only do so much. It was that after school. It was that coming outside. That's when you learned. That's when you got your bone. That's when you learned. That's when you develop your character. That after school, when you ain't gotta act a certain way for the teachers right there, and you ain't at home, but you outside, and the parents did. You coming outside, developing relationships and learning people, because everybody have a different background. And amongst that, that's when you learning yourself. And it's going to translate to adulthood also, to that certain extent. But all this is your journey. All this is your journey. Listen to me. The leaves come before the trees. Don't forget the roots. And everything had its beginning. That's what we learned as a youth. And the truth is, it ain't no shortcuts, just hard turns, roadblocks, detours. Everything's hard earned. Listen to me. If the model to follow was the same, there'd be no change and there wouldn't be no reason for me to stay in my lane. But I maintain, study my peers, open my ears, listen what's being told, and I face my fears. Gears turn in directions for me to reach my highest. I do it for my people, because for my culture, I'm biased. Your seminars and workshops are not worth my time. I rewrite and research and probably start mine. I'm good with my hustle, my struggles, my image. Do what I love until God says I'm finished. I love what I do, so bullshit don't concern me when it takes time and effort. So enjoy the journey. You must enjoy the journey. That's that piece. Rap talk. Make sure you enjoy the journey. All the obstacles, all the setbacks. That's that tough shit you gotta have. You gotta be able to bounce back. You gotta know when there's a pothole right there and how to move around and weave through it. And that's people, that's attitudes. There's situations that can slow you down. You gotta learn to navigate and move around that shit When you like I say, when you see that pothole, you see that hurt, or what you do, if you see it quick enough, you move away from it. And that's how you have to work with adversity, because it's going to be there. But when you develop that focus, it's easier to block out certain things and certain energy. And you have to learn yourself. If it's something you ain't into, you're gonna see it coming. Like I just said a minute ago, I try to teach my kids to watch characteristics and learn people that they don't want to be around, or don't want to associate with, or things of. You want to see that as a person, as an adult in adulthood, and building, whether it's through work, relationships, friendship, family, all that. You have to work around it. If it ain't meant, don't force it. But as far as your purpose and your talent, that's when you gotta dig deep. That you got that gift, you got something in you. You got that gift. You have to know who you are to push that shit out. Challenges, when you know who you are, you turn that shit off and on. I'm gonna tell you what, you have to know thyself. Listen to me. Because we all know the problems gonna come. Listen to me. Frustration kicking in. You see, I was about to grab a drink or just sleep it off, but instead I picked up the pen. Thinking again what my future holds. The battle that's going on inside my soul, believing in myself and who's really in control. See, my heart beats to the rhythm of these streets. Violent news is the soundtrack. You see, I want to stay calm, but the order of action being held back makes it hard not to react. See, it ain't just the blacks. It's the wealthy capitalizing on our poor citizens. We settle for less food injected with stress. Look at the conditions now that we're living in. Shit. Gotta be a strong brother to be legit and not do the other. Because killing makes for more killings, and right now these judges are not passing out football numbers. And every day I discover something I was already supposed to know. In the ghetto, moving fast, but going slow, but somehow steady going inside a big circle. Because see, the pressure can hurt you if your conscience ain't strong as your emotions. But having faith and understanding is the perfect potion. Listen to me. Because as we blend, see, I pretend as if I already made it. Because see, I knew I had the gift, but between so much bullshit, see, now my thoughts became jaded. See, this ain't nothing to play with. See, my kid's sixth sense is not got intense. So every move I make, step I take nowadays, I think about the consequence before the event. So that's why I stay sharp. The balance inside my heart. The good versus evil. And the ability to pick them apart. Know thyself. It's that poem of peace. Got a hold of my mouth, spit a little bit. It is, but I know what that was. That was one of the dead just talking to me. That wasn't even no alcohol, no liquor. I guess they still spill tea or anything you drink when they touch your emotions. That's just something that's happening in the hood. You gotta be real in tune to be able to relate to that. I don't want to go over too many people's heads when I'm talking about stuff like that. But I remember this back in the hood, especially when I drink alcohol and drink liquor. Sometimes when I just spill a little bit, or you know how it could be a little mistake. You'd be like, you ever just notice that sometimes? I mean, of course you could blame it on being drunk or being buzzed. You could be like, damn, how I just spill that? Or you could be doing the simplest thing, just hold it and just tip over and spill. Just a dead friend or two, just showing you a presence, showing you they're around you, they're nearby you. So I'm looking at it right now. That's even in my sober times of this being now, this early in the day, just making a video. Still had a dead watching over. So I just spilled a little bit of my tea. Definitely feel pure and raw, not especially being sober and cutting out those energies of alcohol and liquor and all that, and hitting the gym and all that. I do feel like a resurgence going on, and you test yourself amongst your journey and enjoying your journey. Test yourself. Try to give something up. Like I told you, that adjustment, that's a powerful thing. That's a powerful tool. I mean, just try just stopping something. Whether it be the fatty foods or whatever, or junk food or gambling, whatever. I don't know what it is. But whatever it is, test yourself. Test your endurance. Test your mental. Try to give it up. Shit, it might even be certain people try to give them up. And some people can be a drug also. I mean, energy can be somebody that's so good for you that they bad for you, or so bad for you that you think they good for you. But they really probably don't even mean you good. They probably don't even, it might just be a whole illusion of how much you might think you need that person, but you probably really don't even need that person. You probably just caught up in the illusion of just an energy that you just can't control because you have a void in your own life. You might not even need that person like you think. Try all of that. It's a challenge though. Everything is a challenge. Come out on the other side or the other end, you're gonna be able to look back and see why you did it and see what the difference was and how the outcome switches. So I definitely think you should enjoy your journey. There's just one piece I got in mind. I think I want to do it before I check out of this live. Piece I wrote called Entitlement. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Because we definitely live in a world where a lot of people just feel entitled for the simplest reason. Which is not good. I think that's what caused problems right now amongst the world today. Everybody's feeling entitled. Everybody just feel like just because other people or other things are in their presence, that they're supposed to be entitled to it. Or they feel it's supposed to happen a certain way, or just because the energy you put out that you're supposed to receive. I could put out all this positive shit, but it could still be somebody that want to come through this roadblock and rambush all this shit and till all this shit over and turn you and back into the person you might not want to be. But more than likely though, when the shit that strong, the shit that real, you'd be surprised people just gonna leave away anyway. That's the funny part about this shit when you go through it. When you get into it, just watch all the bullshit just gonna just leave. The people, everything, the energy, the certain things gonna happen, it's gonna fade away. Because they're gonna know that, oh, what you on, that's too much. They gonna know like, and I ain't talking about just females and males, I'm talking about the same sex, the opposite sex, family, whoever it is. I'm talking about all them different categories. So this ain't nothing based on nothing specific. This is all them categories. When you get focused and when you get on what you get on, all the bullshit, I don't even want to say all the bullshit, but it's all the people that's not in line with that, they're gonna just fade away. Slowly but surely they're gonna just dismiss themselves. And it ain't nothing bad about it or nothing, but they just gonna know that what you want is just too much of an energy to where you have to just, it's gonna take too much accountability for them to be around you because you're too focused. So they're not gonna want to be around you. They can say they mean you good or this or that. They can say they giving you space. They can say whatever, but they gonna know that it's too. They're gonna look at you like, okay, that shit is that. They too serious. I can't be around that because I'm not that disciplined. Like the energy you giving off, they're gonna see that in you, and they're gonna be like, I don't even know what to expect. I don't even know how to approach the situation. None of that. Let me just fall back and go to what I'm used to, or go to this, or go to that, or try this out, or whatever. They're gonna just weed away all them people and all that energy is gonna just fade away slowly, sure. And the people that's really meant to be around, they're gonna just be there. Let me get to this entitlement though. Listen to me. If I don't agree with you, that don't mean I'm right and you wrong. The lines of communication and disagreement, sadly enough, is what keep the world moving on. Fuck your opinions. Fuck your observations. When you don't know the full story, it's easy to sit on the sideline watching and judge making. We all need help. But you happy to say alone you did it. Some people's sacrifices is bigger than yours. But you took the easy way out and quit it when you did it. Don't compare my story to yours. I guess this is the point when I fabricate growing up in the hood is hard. If we wasn't given a title poor niggas, we probably would think large. We probably would think large. We once was kings and queens, but where the knowledge went. Now we all want to be victims, looking for entitlement. Let me bring that back. I ain't read this in a minute. If I don't agree with you, That don't mean I'm right and you wrong. The lines of communication and disagreement, sadly enough, is what keeps the world moving on. Fuck your opinions. Fuck your observations. When you don't know the full story, it's easy to sit on the sideline watching and judge making. We all need help, but you happy to say alone that you did it. Some people's sacrifice is bigger than yours, but you took the easy way out and quit it. Don't compare my story to yours. I guess this the point why I fabricate growing up in the hood and how it was hard. If we wasn't given a title poor niggas, we probably would sit back and think large. We once was kings and queens, but where the knowledge went. Now we are victims and run around this world looking for entitlement. Entitlement. Do you feel entitled? Do you feel like everything's supposed to be handed to you? Do you feel like you don't have to work for it? Do you feel like it's shortcuts? Do you feel like just because you in the room, you're supposed to be in the room? Just because you're around some bosses, do you think you're a boss? You know? Just because you're mingling with a couple people that's doing something, do you think that you're doing something too? Do you think that makes you entitled? You post a picture with a celebrity, do that mean that we supposed to look at you like you a celebrity now? Does that make you entitled to be put in that category? Because you was standing somewhere within the club with a celebrity or a star or a millionaire or whatever. Do that make you a millionaire now? Do you feel entitled to be looked at as? You going out to lunch with managers, does that make you a manager now? Does that make you a CEO? Because you had a conversation with the CEO. Do you feel entitled to be treated by everybody else like you about to be the CEO because you stood next to the CEO or had lunch with the supervisor and here and there? Do you feel like, okay, I'm in the bracket, entitled? This world want it all. Put in that work. Put in that work. Enjoy the journey. Know thyself. And entitlement. Those 3 poems for the day. And the message is enjoy the journey. As always, put in that work. I appreciate y'all. And shit don't come to you until you work for it.